Hi, I'm Natasha Lockhart. As summer warms up and the water gets low, we've got lots of things to talk about.
I'm Stacy Beck. We'll visit with the owner of Revival Aesthetics and Wellness.
And I'm Angie Murphy. Do you know the history of women's service in the military? We'll talk about that.
And we'll get to know about our new Miss Spanish Fork. All this and more on Studio Chatter. Welcome to Studio Chatter. June is just flying by.
It is. It's going fast.
Too fast. In
is.
fact, the kids just asked me, so when is summer starting, Mommy? I said,
Like, oh.
almost. We just have to finish a couple things first and then we can start. But that's how it always is for us, like in a normal non-COVID year. So that's how I know that we're back to normal at our house.
Because it's so busy?
Because it's so busy. We normally kick off June with a trip to Myrtle Beach, which is a normal conference that we go to every year. So Keith went to that solo this year because we were doing Makeup Miss Utah Week, which just kicked off and finished and was
Tell
fantastic.
us about it.
Yes,
Oh my
please
gosh.
do.
It
Like,
was,
how fun. You had 3 young women from Spanish Fork there.
How neat.
Besides the current Miss Utah
Right.
from
So
Spanish
4
Fork.
total.
4.
Yeah, it was so amazing. So we had, so I don't mess this up. We had the current Miss Spanish Fork, so Azure Talbot, who competed as Miss South Valley just during the week of Miss Utah, because we had Morgan Reed, who was competing as Miss Spanish Fork
From the
2019.
previous year. Okay.
Correct. And then from the previous year, Morgan Olson was there competing as Miss Dixie State University. So 3 Miss Spanish
so
Forks, all in their own element. And then Dejana Talbot, who is the current title holder for Miss Utah 2019 and 2020 per COVID. So giving up her title. So it was, yes, it was just it was
full of-
so
and then
amazing.
Barrett.
And then, yes, my little Barrett finishing her little Miss Year for Dejana. So it was, I mean, it was just truly, it was truly an experience, and it was so memorable and so just wonderful and amazing to watch all of them in their own right, doing their thing and finishing. And Dejana was just so gracious. I mean, just so gracious. And I don't know that anyone else could have done it so well to finish, 2 years. I mean, that was just such a long time. And as a mother, to watch her, to take her final walk and to share the stage with Barrett, I mean, that was truly heartwarming. That was so, so nice. I don't know that another title holder has ever done that. And it's, I mean, just so Dejana.
To have Barrett there.
Yeah.
Well, just so giving, just to have.
Let's share the love.
Yeah,
Right.
just
Let's
share.
It's not all
Yes,
about
totally.
me.
Yeah.
And I feel
Totally.
like that's
was
their family's attitude.
Yes.
Totally. That's totally how they are. So that
Well,
was
this
that
will
was
go down
amazing.
in Barrett's memory
And
forever.
yes, and Azure made it into the top 12. She did amazing. That was super awesome. And Morgan Reed did really, really well. I mean, she's been waiting a long time for her turn. And Morgan Olson, she walked away with the Sadie Hewish Award for her service. So she
amazing.
also walked away with a scholarship. So all of them did really, really wonderful. It was just an amazing week. So
Good for
it was
you.
great.
And
It was fun.
Natasha, thank you for representing all
I
of these
know.
girls as the Miss Spanish Fork director. You've
Oh my
been
gosh.
doing that for how many years?
I don't even know now.
Because you were Ray Shalene's assistant director for
a long
a
time.
decade plus,
Right.
and then you took over. So thank you.
Well,
That's
I mean,
a big
I think
role.
it's just the community spirit here. I mean, I think it's just everybody just kind of loves to give back, and even so, Diana Anderson and Emily Williams
Yes.
also took over some state positions this year. So they are the Little Miss directors at the state level
I did not
this
know
year.
that.
So to manage all of those littles backstage, and Carly Condi, who is also the state director. I mean, there's so much involvement, and
Right.
and it's just, I think it's just the nature of the community.
good for
So
them.
it was super awesome.
So
and
now
just
your
great to
real
be there.
summer can start. You can hit the pool, the reservoir, go to a
That's
movie.
what I've told them. So I really hope so. You know, we did take a day. I must say, we did take one day. We did go see Cruella.
Oh, how was it?
Oh my gosh, it was so good. It was so good.
I'm in the mood for a movie in the theater. I mean, I think I've been once or twice, but when it's 100+ degrees outside,
That's a perfect place to go.
It
hike.
really is, don't you think?
We
Going
to
our
the
work
movie.
rented
So
out a
good.
theater and we
Yeah.
went and saw A Quiet Place too, and it was really fun.
Just to be in the
It was good.
recliners,
Yep.
in
Have
the dark with the
popcorn.
popcorn and
Yeah.
it was a good movie.
yeah. Because going to parks, I'm hosting my daughter and daughter-in-law's baby shower in 2 weeks. I originally wanted to do that outside, but that just does not sound enjoyable. I mean, it's not till 7 to 9 at night, but
Which
my
could be
guess is
better.
it's still going to be
It could be just
85 or
this next week
90.
is supposed to be what, like 102
Yeah.
or
But I don't know
more
that it's
here.
going to be getting.
It's definitely
Better.
climbing.
Yeah.
So-
it is
Now,
cool.
my friend, I must say though, I've been to your house recently, and with that fabulous new
corner
area that you have finished in your
and you face
West.
West. So I think your east side is super shady. Isn't
Yeah,
it,
but
about that
even when
time?
it's 85 still at 7,
It's still a little warm.
I don't know. When you have 2 pregnant girls that are probably going to
Well,
be
let the
inside.
pregnant ladies decide.
This was going to be my suggestion if
Oh,
you were
what?
going to invest in anything. However, I don't know that it's drought friendly.
Misters?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Are
Chris
they?
has been pushing for those. We don't have them
Oh
yet.
my gosh, I think they're so amazing. If you're
It would
going
be
to
the
do
year
that,
to do it,
oh,
huh?
it would be the year, and that's a great area.
Yeah, that's true. We put up some solar lights over there.
Ooh.
So that's kind of nice. And then you turn them on with a remote.
Oh, that's so nice.
So handy.
Yeah.
I vote
Costco.
yes. I vote yes.
For the misters? Okay.
Yep. Outside with misters.
Outside with misters. I'll ask the pregnant girls.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's wise.
Oh, I meant to bring it up here for this segment too. I was going to show off one of the tumblers that I also picked up at Miss Utah.
Oh yeah, please do. I saw those. They look
Yeah,
gorgeous.
I'll have to show it next time. I think that you put it on your social media.
Oh, yes.
But
Oh,
yes,
look,
the-
Adam's
Oh,
gonna bring
look
it
it,
to you.
and there we are.
Thanks, Adam.
Are these beautiful?
Gorgeous.
They're gorgeous.
Yeah, Megan Rose. She did.
Can I
these
hold
for,
it?
Yes, she did those for Miss
So pretty.
Utah Week.
So glittery.
Aren't those gorgeous?
Yeah.
And remind
Custom.
the website.
Yes, those
Glitter
Glitter
tumblers.
tumblers. If you want to follow. I mean,
Right.
Wow, that's really pretty, Natasha.
Yeah, and do you remember when we very first met you, before you were in that chair, and you came on the show to tell us about one of your favorite products, and you were getting ready to go to Lake Powell, and it was the self tanner. Do you
Tanner lotion.
remember?
Oh yeah, with my glove.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't use it
You
anymore.
don't use it anymore. How come?
It's a lot of work. I'd rather go lay in the tanning bed and just maybe I've given up on like caring what happens to my skin, but yeah, I
Oh,
did
that's
love
funny.
it. I found the glove when I was cleaning out my
my
bathroom though,
word.
like 2 months ago, and I was like, "Where's this glove?" Like I had it in a plastic baggie, all zipped up.
I remember
just sitting
that.
at the bottom.
That's awesome.
That's funny. That is so great.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
not. No more.
So much
Times
fun.
change.
Next on Studio Chatter, we'll talk with the owner of Revival. Stay with us. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. Opening a personal care service in 2019, then having to weather the storms of 2020 could not be easy. Let's welcome Shay Nielsen with Revival Aesthetics and Wellness to our table.
Hi, Shay.
Hi, guys. Thanks
So
for having
you're
me.
homegrown Spanish Fork.
I am.
You graduated from Spanish Fork High School.
I did.
What year, if you don't mind us
Oh,
asking?
you go right to the.
Yes, it's interesting.
Dive right
to me. I
in
love
there.
Spanish Fork.
2002 was my graduating class. I graduated a year
Okay.
early and went down to Snow College.
Okay.
And so, what is your education? What is your medical?
So I am
background?
a nurse practitioner. I spent 10 years as a nurse, registered nurse, mostly working in surgery. And then I finished my NP about 6 years ago and worked with a neurosurgeon for the last 6 years. And then decided to start my own practice.
And why? Like,
Yes.
what drove you
And
to
why
start your-
2020?
Yeah. So I.
We have a fly.
I am
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
never mind us shooing it around.
I am a mother of 3. My oldest is 17, and then 15 and 6. And I was working 70 hours a week plus, and there were a lot of days that went by that I wasn't seeing my children. And I started doing the aesthetic stuff on the side and realized that I really enjoyed the connection with other women. I was just drawn to it. I felt like this speaks more to my ethics and values and what I want and to pass down to my kids.
I really love that. So what is your business and where is it located?
So it's Revival Aesthetics and Wellness. It's here in Spanish Fork. Right now we're just leasing some space. It's on 8th North, 826 North, 100 East.
Okay.
Give us a little monument or something that's close by that we would know.
Aspen Dermatology.
Okay,
So everybody
perfect.
knows where Aspen is.
Yep.
We're just across the street from there.
Perfect. I do know where that is.
So what are your go-tos there? What do you offer?
What do we offer? So I personally do Botox and fillers, facial fillers, facial rejuvenation. So as we age, our faces start to fall off a little bit and we get wrinkles and
can
find
relate.
nice
Talking to a
wrinkles
table
and
A table full of wrinkles.
A very specific age group, right?
I mean, I have a
Not
daughter that's
us.
17 years old, and it's the Botox. That's why it doesn't look like I should have a child that age. So.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So what are some maybe fears of people getting Botox?
That you'll look funny, like
Okay.
Jack Nicholson or something,
Okay.
which you can have a spocked eyebrow. That happens. I probably just the way you're going to look, so reassurance. And people don't want duck lips. We don't do duck lips. We like to do a natural look and not a frozen face. So less is more.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you're not the only one there.
No, I'm not. So I have 2 estheticians that work with me as well. They specialize in facials, Diamond Glow facial. We do vampire facials. We also have a laser hair removal machine as well as a cool sculpting machine.
Okay, explain that, the vampire.
The vampire facial is micro needling, and then I draw your blood. We spin it down and take the plasma out of your blood, which it's your own blood, so pretty low risk there. And it has healing properties in it. And then we put it back over your face.
I've
and
heard of this.
microneedle.
Yeah, I have too, so I wanted it
Yeah.
to be explained. I want to try all of them. I'm not afraid. Okay,
Oh, I am afraid.
I'm telling this to the audience. I did get some Botox, and I've done it before on my forehead, and there was, the first time I think it's kind of scary, like my eyebrows felt a little funny, but my lip this last time did a little piercing.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit nervous, but it then came back to, is that quite normal for like one side of the lip to do a little something funny, or?
It can happen.
Okay.
Yeah, it can happen. The great part about Botox is if you don't like it, it wears off in 3 to 4 months.
It was fine with the mask wearing time, right? I just kept the mask on a little bit longer.
Yeah, aesthetics is actually really busy because of the masks. They call it the Zoom boom, because people they're looking at themselves in the mirror or in the camera a lot more because they're doing meetings, or they're just wearing a mask, and so this is all you see.
And now we're like acne and wrinkles, and we need some help.
Yep.
But the advantage of you owning the practice is that there's a nurse on staff all of the time,
Yeah.
right? So you're able to do the injections, and some other practices or businesses rather don't have that available all the time.
Correct. So a med spa has to have a physician or a nurse practitioner on staff while they're open.
So that's readily available all day,
Yeah.
every day.
Okay, and tell me educate us a little bit about fillers and Botox and how they're different and what they should be used for.
So Botox is for wrinkles. It can be used for pain, for TMJ, and for migraines, and that wears off in about 3 or 4 months, so continued injections. Filler is for lips, cheeks, for more of a structure thing, and that lasts about 9 months to a year depending on the product that's used.
And how long did you say Botox lasts?
About 3 to 4 months.
Okay. I heard that the more often you do it, the longer it stays. Is that true?
Yeah, and have better results with it.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
What are some of your other passions, Shay?
Oh, well, a few other things that we offer, actually,
Yes.
I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
We do hormone replacement therapy with pellets. We also have a wellness coach that does fitness and nutrition coaching. So it's kind of all-encompassing of, it's not just about the outward appearance for us. It's a lot about, we want people to have a really good experience when they're at our spa, as well as leave with their soul smiling. Like, it's all about the interpersonal connections we make. That I'm on the board for the Lifetime Healing Foundation, the trauma services. I am a survivor of domestic abuse, and the founder of the program, she's a birth mom. There's not a lot of support for moms after they give birth. So she started this foundation, which is near and dear to my heart, and we're just starting out the domestic abuse part of that. And so I really feel strongly about the connections I make with my patients that come in through the doors. I don't feel like they're going to sit in my chair. I joke that Jenny does my lashes, and it's therapy for me. Just like going to get your hair done,
Yeah.
you get to sit down and make that connection with somebody, which is so important.
That's amazing. I
So-
love that you share that story, and it's so personal.
Thank you.
But it also helps you connect with
Yeah,
other women.
It's part of my story. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
So what does, it's the Lifetime,
Lifetime Healing Foundation.
Okay.
So they're on Instagram, and so is Revival.
and
they're
it's here local, like Spanish Fork local, or
They're Utah County.
Okay.
Right now, they're out filming a story about the one of the women from the Marshall Islands that was promised all these things when she came here and gave one of her baby up for adoption. They were supposed to bring her children out and never did, and so the foundation did some fundraising so that we could bring the kids here. So right now they're filming that.
All that kind of stuff.
Reuniting
Wow. So
them. So
heartbreaking.
It is so heartbreaking,
is
but
hard.
very rewarding to
Yes.
be able to be a part
Yes.
of that as
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
So-
awesome.
well.
Okay, well, I think we're ready to sign up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, speaking of that, are there any promotions or any offers or anything that maybe going on during the summer that we
Yes.
should be sure to check out?
Absolutely. So the Diamond Glow Facial, if you come and book that, you can get one of our sunscreens for 50% off.
Okay.
Also, if you mention that you saw us on Studio Chatter, we would give 20% off any of the services.
All
That's
right.
pretty awesome.
You better
Yeah.
go book yours,
Yeah.
right?
Well, thank you for joining us, and
Yeah.
best of luck.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Thank
Okay,
you.
very good. Coming up next on Studio Chatter, do you know the history of women in our military? We'll talk about that next. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. Let's get a little history lesson about women serving in the military. Welcome Becky Nepper to our table. Welcome.
Hello there.
This is going to be exciting.
Well, I hope so. I think I've got a lot of interesting, exciting stuff to talk about.
And I like that we've sandwiched you. Today is June 14th, the day we're filming this, which is Flag
Flag
Day.
Day.
And then it
Yes.
will air. But we're kind of sandwiching you between like Memorial Day, the 4th of July, the 24th of July, on Flag Day. Like, it's a perfect
Well, it's
little
also
bit.
the Army's birthday.
What is that?
Today?
It's the day that the Army was actually established in 1775.
Today.
Oh,
Today.
wow.
I did
On
not
June
know
14th.
that. That's
On
interesting
June
fact.
14th.
Okay.
So I'd love to know what is your particular interest? So what brings you here?
Well, I served 27 years in the Army. And
Wow.
during that time, I was able to go back to the dedication of the Women in Military Service Memorial at Arlington National Cemetery in 1997. And at that dedication, there was a woman who spoke to us who was 101 years old that year, who had been one of the first women to enlist in the Navy when women were legally able to join the Navy in 1918. And when she spoke to us, she said, when I enlisted, I didn't have the right to vote. And that has just stuck with me, and it's just been an interest. I just think how much patriotism and love for your country it would take to enlist in a military whose commander-in-chief you could not vote for. So it's just been an interest of mine and something I'm trying to educate as many people as I can about. Also on Saturday, this past Saturday, was the 73rd anniversary of the Women's Armed Forces Integration Act, which actually allowed women in 1948 to actually have a career in the military. Up until that time, they could enlist during a war, except for the Army Nurses Corps. All the rest of them could enlist for the war plus 6 months, but they couldn't
Interesting.
have a career.
Wow.
Oh,
So
Well, thank you.
1948, that was when that
That was
act.
passed. Mhm.
okay.
Thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
And so, what have you learned about women then officially serving and covertly serving? How many were doing it under the radar before
Well,
that time then?
women have served since the beginning of time. I mean, we have Joan of Arc. But in America, we had women who dressed as men during the Revolutionary War to serve, along with Molly Pitcher, who didn't dress as a man but took over her husband's post. We've had women in the Civil War. They figure about 400 women served during the Civil War incognito.
So like
Dressed
other
as
than
men.
nurses?
Other than nurses.
Okay. And does being a nurse counts, but that was all that they would let them do?
Or is this like
That was-
combat
right,
fighting?
and they were not considered part of the military. They were the
Okay.
Army Nurses Corps and the Navy Nurses Corps.
Okay.
So they had no military rights. If they died, and they did die, and
Right.
in the war, they had no military honors.
So I'm guessing, Becky, that with all of your history with this and your desire, like what kind of stories have you learned about some of these women?
Well, recently I just finished reading a book. Can I show the book?
Yes.
So this book, which is We Band of Angels, which is about the 78 Army nurses and one Navy nurse who were on Bataan when it was surrendered. They were there from 1941 through to when it was liberated. So they were prisoners of war along with the men who were
Oh.
prisoners of war. They didn't do the Bataan Death March, but they were there living under the same horrible conditions, eating the same meager rations. Towards the end, the last few weeks of their captivity, along with the men, they were living on 500 grams of rice every other day.
Oh my goodness.
So, but they continued to work as nurses, and they weren't. You know, there are all those horrible stories about what the Japanese did during that war to everyone, and these nurses were not sexually assaulted. And that was probably because they also took care of the wounded Japanese soldiers. And the Japanese men were just shocked that there were women in the military, because
in
women
Japan
in
they
their military is unheard of at that time.
Okay.
So,
So you highly recommend this book, We Band of Angels.
yes, it
Okay.
is very, very interesting and easy to read. And it's sad to me that a lot of people don't know about these women.
Right.
Everybody knows about the Bataan Death March and the prisoners that were there. And I'm not taking anything away from those men, because they endured horrible, horrible conditions and abuse. But these women, none of them died. And that they think is because they worked together. Their head nurse was Maud Davidson, and she insisted on strict discipline and that they continued to work. Towards the end, they could only work 4-hour shifts because they were so emaciated and so exhausted. But in the beginning, in 3 months, they assisted in 1,200 operations that were horrible amputations and head and chest wounds, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's just amazing what they put up with. And when they came home, they were treated very well at first, because our government, bless its heart, used them as a recruiting tool. So they had tailored uniforms while they're in the hospital recuperating, because when they came, I mean, they were working with malaria and beriberi and dysentery, but they continued to work to take care of these. At one time, there was 9,000 men in one hospital.
Oh, wow.
That's incredible.
But then when they were through using them as a recruiting tool, they were just mostly forgotten about.
Okay.
And Maud Davidson was put in for this Distinguished Service Cross because of her leadership and her ability to get these women through that almost 3 years of captivity without losing one, with continuing to take care of those men who many would have died without their care. And it was downgraded to a Legion of Merit. They said she wasn't in an appropriate leadership position for that high of an award.
Oh my goodness. Well, in your experience and in these history lessons until now, what has been the biggest change, do you think? I mean, for women that are serving now?
Well, back when they established the Women's Army Corps, which was in 1942, if women got married, they had to get out.
Oh.
I'm not sure when the date was, but somewhere between the 50s and when I joined, if women got pregnant, they had to get out. So there have been all these changes that women have fought for, which has allowed the women who are serving now, it's been the stepping stones for the women who are serving now that are able to be married, have children, work in any field in the entire military, that they can physically qualify and mentally qualify.
Okay.
What is your highlight of your service to our country?
That's a good one, Angie.
Oh, it'll be kind of sappy, but
I like that.
I was stationed near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, my last 6 years in the Army. Oh, darn. My highlight was meeting my husband.
Okay. And that too. Good.
Was he in Pittsburgh?
Yes, he was.
Okay. But besides that, of course.
The second
But,
highlight.
and then he encouraged me to have my retirement ceremony at Fort Myer, Virginia, which is where the soldiers that guard the Tomb of the Unknowns are stationed.
Wow.
And so it was amazing. There were 13 of us that retired had the same retirement ceremony. They do it once a month. We had Pershing's own Army band there.
Wow.
And we had the old guard, the company dressed in the colonial uniform.
Wow.
And they don't do that anymore.
Oh, they still do
They
it.
still dress in that
Oh,
old
yes.
uniform. Okay.
Yeah, it's just for special ceremonial
Okay.
occasions. And then we had a company of the soldiers that guard the Tomb of the Unknowns in their dress blues. And the senior person who was a colonel got to do a pass and review with those troops. They were all standing at attention in formation. And then we all lined up. They played the Army song, and we're standing at attention, and the tears are just rolling down my face. And there was another sergeant first class standing next to me, and all of a sudden I felt her arm come up, and she's patting me on the back.
How sweet.
How special. And that's
Yeah.
not sappy. I just think that's
no.
really neat.
Well,
That's
Becky,
amazing.
Thank you for your service, not only in the Army, but here locally in our American Legion. You guys are so active. Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank
So
you for being
appreciate
here,
it.
Thank you
and
for
thank you for
stopping by.
stopping by and
Thank you.
helping us all
You are
understand.
welcome.
Thank you
the-
all
Thanks
around.
for the opportunity to try and pass on some things I've learned.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. Coming up on Studio Chatter, the drought and how it will affect us all. We'll talk about that next. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. The summer of 2020 was the driest in 126 years of record keeping, and this year has been even worse. We are in the extreme drought category. What does that all mean for us?
Yellow lawns?
Yes. Guys, and I didn't even really correlate that last year was a little bit drier.
I didn't either.
right?
I
Did
think
you?
we were very
Much
overwhelmed
attention
with other things going
yes,
on.
we were COVID focused, and then this year has rolled around, and then I started hearing people talking about the drought. And I think what really sparked my interest with it is that we're going to Lake Powell, and we've had this conversation with our family that the dock ramp that we normally go down, it's just rocks. It goes to the end of the ramp, and it's rocks, and how much it's dropped off. And it's like 37 feet, I think, lower.
Wow.
And so people are not being able to dock their boats. We're having to special valet to get into the lake. And just how devastating that can
Really?
be for the future, not just this year, but
It's
how
gonna
can
take
it
a
ever
lot of
come
water.
back, right? And so then it's like, hey, what am I doing at home? Am I doing something to
Yeah.
help out at home? I
Well,
don't know.
and I have like some of my shrubs in my yard that have always done really well. A portion of it is just dry. And I was on a Facebook page that kind of helps guide you through that. And someone said it's because last year was so dry.
Okay.
And then this winter was dry. And now we're going, they're
They
just.
don't have deep roots,
Yeah, and
maybe,
so I'm like,
with
well, that makes
water
sense.
down there.
I have 3 shrubs that are really struggling.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's interesting because even through the winter, you know, you start making those comments. Gosh, we're going to have a drought. We're going to have a drought
Right.
this summer, and it's
We love winter this year because
right
there's no
because
snow.
it's kind of pleasant to not
Yeah.
have to drive through all the snow or to get to where
Right.
you're going. And then when it starts making that impact, the reality sets in, and you're like, "This is not good."
Right,
This
like
is
we're
not
having directives like Spencer
pleasant.
Cox is asking us to like cut back on our water usage. I know that there's no fire bans in certain places. Fireworks are limiting to certain places, and this is just the beginning of the summer.
Yeah, we're
I just
in week
imagine
number
like where
2.
it's going to go from here. So, do you guys have issues or problems with like water usage, or how are we going to cut back, or what do we need
We
to
have
do?
the Ratio system. Have you guys heard of that?
No.
It's in Spanish Fork, and you can sign up online and get it, and you run your sprinklers off your smartphone, but then it just regulates different things. So you can just make it so, you know, it waters every 3 days, but you can do it all by your phone, and it can, if it rains, then it won't water.
It knows.
Yeah, it just
It's a
knows.
smart
So
water
it's
system.
super great. So if you want to hop online or call the city office and order one, I think there's still some for this year. So that's one way.
So the city comes and helps install it, or
Uh-huh.
you just go down and pick it up?
No, they
How does
install
that
it.
work? Oh my goodness, I love that.
Yeah.
So what about overusage and penalties?
In Spanish Fork, we have it's called a 3-tier system here.
Okay.
So everyone pays, like if you just use, we all use this much, we
Right.
pay that rate. Let's say my neighbor Natasha wants to use more. She's going to be paying more money per gallon because you're choosing to do
Sure.
more. But let's say Angie even wants to use more than that, she's going to be paying more. So you pay, it's a tiered system. The state's really trying to start to implement it. We're okay with water right now, but that doesn't mean you can just go out and water. Like we
Right.
still need to be super
Right.
conscientious. So
I know with our sprinkler system right now, I think we're on every other day, and then we cut back the time. And we've been able to maintain, I think,
So
a
far.
decent green lawn, but I'm noticing like a few little brown spots, and then how important it is to have the green lawn, or to, you know,
I
save
know
the
I
water
love
and be
that
conscious of
Governor
that.
Cox and Lieutenant Governor Henderson are like, yellow's the new green.
Yeah.
And we need to be okay with
Yeah,
that.
we do. It's
And that
good.
Las Vegas is saying they
They were cutting back, what was that, like 31%?
and it says
of
Las
the-
Vegas is banning non-functional grass.
Right.
Right.
Whatever that means.
So I feel
Turf?
like that's like our, yeah. So lawns probably don't matter, and it would be like turf, like
Yeah.
things that are being used for sporting events or something, right?
And I was listening to KSL earlier last week, in fact, and they were just saying the state is trying to make initiatives to move forward, and one of the whoever it was, I think Debbie
Dujanovic?
I never
Yep.
can say that. She's like, why hasn't this already been done? This should have been done years ago. Like, why do any of us have mow strips? We should all
Totally,
you know,
rocks, or just like
rocks.
do a wider
W-
sidewalk.
We cemented ours, and it was like one of the best decisions ever. I love
Right.
having cement in our
Yeah.
mow strip. So there's a lot of things we can
Well,
do.
I'm doing my part.
What is
so,
it?
well, I'm using dry shampoo. So,
Baby
frequently.
steps. Good job, Natasha.
so I'm skipping a day if
that helps.
If it helps.
Were
yes,
you guys
know.
shocked though? Because we grew up in the era where we'd either wash our car on the front lawn or go to the car wash and put quarters in. But
Right.
I remember like when these bigger places started coming into like Wiggy Wash or Quick Quack.
Right,
And they
right.
said that actually
It's better.
It's better because
Right.
it doesn't use as many
Guys, this
carbs.
fact, once again, DIY instinct is to try and like do your own, but letting the local car wash do the dirty work could save up to 100 gallons.
100 gallons.
Same with even with
Yeah.
the dishwasher. If you have
Yes.
an efficient dishwasher, it's better to use the dishwasher than to hand wash them yourself.
And like leaving on the tap while you're brushing your teeth. I leave on my water a lot when I'm scrubbing my dishes.
Yep.
Do you
Right.
guys not just fill up the sink and wash them off?
Today I was doing sheets and towels and I dried them for 10 minutes and then I'm like, why don't I just go lay them over the railing? They will be dry in 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, totally.
So I pulled them out and just threw them over the back railing and let them dry right up.
That's really.
Do you know, I
great.
actually wouldn't mind having a traditional clothesline.
You know what I did when our first year of marriage, and your clothes are
Crisp.
Yes, like
Oh, you don't love
your,
crisp?
your jeans don't bend and your towels aren't soft. Like I was like, this is horrible.
I need
we
to
couldn't
throw 'em
afford
in
a
with, like,
dryer the first year, so
But just
Like a
think
water
what you're
softener.
giving back to the environment. Just it's
I just
doing,
wanted a
it's
soft
just-
towel out of the shower.
It's doing your part.
Well, Pete gave us a couple of like fun things that we could work on. Shower with a bucket. How do we feel about that right
Okay,
now?
I do have my limits. I'm
No
probably
showering
not
with a
going to shower with a bucket.
Plant a native garden. What's that?
Plants that are native to Utah, so drought tolerant plants.
Okay.
Something that,
Like grasses.
well, yeah, and when you go
Like
to the
cactus.
nursery, exactly, like a cactus farm. When you go to the nursery, this one will say needs like
Lots of water
Yeah,
and shade.
don't buy those.
Right.
Buy things that are like drought tolerant or needs lots of sun.
Right. And I used to do that. Like on my porch, I'd buy all these pretty flowers that I love. Well, I'm north facing and it doesn't get very much sun. So every year I was sad, like halfway through the summer when they're starting to die. And I'm just realizing this. There's certain like
Yes.
vegetation that does better in other
Yeah,
areas.
in the shade.
and-
Yeah.
Yep.
Very true.
So filling up my little kid pool in the backyard for my grandkids.
You're
how does that
okay.
sit?
Yes.
If I water my lawn,
Well, it's
then I
not like
empty
you
it
need
out.
a 7. I mean, you can just
Doing
put it like yeah.
We're doing that.
The
right?
And
good
then-
news is that it's hot enough that that water is going to stay nice and warm.
Yes.
too.
It has been.
And when you're done with it, you just pull the pool over to the
Dry
brown
spots. That's what Rhett's been doing. Just dumping it out.
Yeah.
here.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
Or go
anyway,
to the local pool where the water's already there.
Okay. Thanks,
Splash pad.
Stace.
Yeah, sure.
With the littles, it's super hard though. With the babies, it's so nice to just have that
Yeah.
little baby pull out back
Yeah.
a little
A
bit.
waiting pool. How
Slip and
fun.
slide.
It'll be an interesting summer. This will be a topic we'll probably circle back to
I think
time
we're
and
going
time
to.
again.
Yep. Do our part.
Yes.
Pick one. Shower in a bucket or dry shampoo. That's good.
Yeah, yes, I'm totally contributing and totally unrelated. I just thought of this, but something that happened to us earlier this week, the clothesline. I
Yes.
was just thinking about maybe why I guess we probably won't do that. Because we had some bird droppings that happened to us this week. Poor Barrett was out. We were at one of the events, and she had some bird droppings on her shoulder. But there is a happy ending to everything. Apparently, bird droppings on you or something is good luck.
It is?
I didn't know that, so there's a fun fact.
Well, that's just what they tell you after you've had bird
it's
droppings
true.
on you.
Wikipedia, it's true. It's
Oh,
a fun
That
fact,
happened
yes.
to us in
Yep.
Paris. It fell on Kinsey's head, and we swiped it, and it fell. Then it flew in. Wait, it was on someone's head, Rhett's maybe, and it flew into Kinsey's face. And then Mallory thought that we had hit her in the face because she did something. You guys, it was a big to do. It did not seem much like good luck to us there.
Was there anything good that happened afterward?
Not really. It
I don't
was,
know,
it
you
was
were
a
in
bunch of
Paris.
bad for a little bit. We were in Paris. That was
We're in Paris.
That was
Okay,
a good luck.
that's good. Okay. Coming up next, we're going to meet the new Miss Spanish Fork. Stay with us. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. We are so happy to have our next guest with us. Welcome Paisley Healy, our new Miss Spanish Fork, to the table. Welcome.
Having me.
2 weeks.
Fun.
I know.
Does it feel like old hat already?
No, it's definitely different, but it's way fun. I love
It's
it.
a really pretty hat, though. that
I know
you
it
get
is.
to wear. Yeah,
So pretty.
you're gorgeous.
Have you got any parades under your belt yet?
Me and one of my attendants went to the Springville Parade
Okay.
on Saturday. So that was
Okay.
really fun.
And did your little hand get tired? I always wonder that.
No, I usually end up just kind of waving like
that.
hey, but it's so fun. I love parades, and our float is so pretty this year.
Is it?
Is it a new one this year?
Yes,
Okay.
like the SF responders one.
Oh.
It's so cute. They
Oh,
have
I
like a
can't
bunch
wait
of
to see
pictures
it.
from like firemen and policemen and stuff like that. It's awesome.
Is it like red, white, and blue?
Yes.
Okay.
And
oh,
my
yeah.
dress is white. My attendants' dresses are red, and they have like blue diamonds on it. And I love them. They're so
gorgeous.
cute. I know.
And
It
you've
looks
got
awesome.
all your dresses and everything in the last 2 weeks?
My parade dresses. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
See, that would be my top priority. I'm
Well,
like,
yes,
I'm
it
gonna
should
go
be.
get
Fast.
yes.
They work fast.
Natasha,
It has to
you're
move
chomping
pretty.
at the bit,
No,
I'm
it has
sure.
to move
And the
pretty
shoes, okay.
I'm just smiling because I'm just wondering what the experience has been so far. I mean, you're just beaming, and I'm super excited for you.
It's so fun. I absolutely love it. Like, you know, I've kind of been like in the pageant world since I was like 7-ish.
Yeah.
Really?
I was Mini Miss Spanish Fork and I was Little Miss Spanish Fork, and I just have been waiting to be Miss Spanish Fork. So I was like, oh, like, I want to do that, and now it's happening. So it's like so much fun because
You're living your dream.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
so I want to
Yeah.
ask you though, do you feel like those two things prepared you for competing?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And I think they're obviously way different because, you know, you're little and they don't
Yes.
ask you like serious questions. They're like, what's your favorite color or stuff like that. But for sure, I think it's taught me like how to talk to people and like get out of my shell, even though I
Right.
was only 7. So
Yeah.
that's for sure
Yeah.
helped.
Being on stage and then being a dancer too and all that kind of stuff
Yeah.
helps a little bit.
Being a dancer has definitely helped my stage presence for sure.
So the Miss America program has changed a little bit, and I know that you recently were able to watch the Miss Utah competition as well. There's a social impact pitch. Tell us about your social impact initiative.
So my SII, or my Social Impact Initiative, is called the 5 Rules of Life, and it's helping individuals get through their tough times and trials because I went through something that not a lot of people have gone through in their life, and so I just really wanted to make a different SII for people because I think my SII is not really heard of. It's not one that's a lot of people have. So I just really wanted to create one that's different and that helps everybody, no matter
Yeah.
how old you are, like even if you're in elementary school or senior citizen, no matter what, like my SII definitely helps a lot of different people.
So tell us
what
about
is it?
Yeah.
So it's 5 rules of life. So I have 5 different rules. They're know your worth, be you, let it go, give it time, and smile. And
love it.
I just really, in junior high when I was going through my, trial, I used those rules in my every single day life, no
So
matter
you
what.
made these up in junior high?
Yes,
Like,
I did.
kind of
You're
coping
just struggling
skills.
and
Yes.
just writing down like what can help me
Wow.
get through
That's
this.
really insightful for a junior high.
I know, it was in 8th grade. And in 8th grade, I was, everyone kind of struggles in junior high.
8th grade
No
is
matter
the
Junior high
worst
is just
year.
hard for
I know,
everyone.
it really is.
Yeah.
And everyone's trying to find like their self as a person and like find their friends and stuff like that. So I just decided to sit down and write down people who loved me, like my family members, my friends, like anybody that I thought loved me. I wrote down and I just kind of thought, what can I do to help myself through this trial? And I just kind of starting to figure out that knowing your worth is a huge thing and staying myself and
Yeah.
like letting it go, even though it's something that's always going to be there. Giving it time, like I know that one's kind of cliche, but time really
But
heals
necessary. It
everything.
does heal.
Yeah.
And my favorite rule is smile. I love smiling, and so that one really helped me a lot too.
I
So
love
how are
that.
you helping others with this initiative? What are you doing?
So before Miss Spanish Fork, I did get to go to the junior high and speak to the special education class about my 5 rules. And some people asked me, isn't that going to be a little bit hard? And it was actually a lot easier than you think it would be. Like, they totally understood what I was saying because they were in junior high and they're going through exactly what I was going through, trying to figure out who I am as a person and where I fit into in life and with my friends and stuff like that. So they completely understood, and I have these cute little pink signs that I, take with me and stuff, and I
Okay,
have my rules on them, and it says you are loved on the bottom because I think everybody needs to know that.
Yeah.
And I talked to them about it, and they completely got it, and I also spoke to this Activity Days group with Azure Talbot. I spoke with her about kindness and my 5 rules, and they're a lot younger than junior high kids. And so I think no matter what age group, I can definitely help them and teach them that if they don't use my 5 rules, they can come up with their own.
So moving forward now, you're going to be Miss Spanish Fork. What do you want to implement moving forward with these?
So my SI is really different, and I just want to make sure like I'm going to elementary schools and even like senior citizen centers. I want to make sure I'm going there and just telling people that no matter what trial, no matter how big or small it is, they can use my rules or come up with their own and get through that trial no matter what it is.
That's going to be awesome.
You know what? I like it because it's really useful and it kind of pertains to everyone. Where some of them are like so limited with where they can be focused on. I
Right.
think this is one that can really help everyone. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really awesome.
Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was my goal with
Yeah.
that. I wanted something that's going to help everybody
Yeah.
no matter what.
Yep, speaks to them all.
Very inclusive.
Yes, I agree.
What other things are you looking forward to this summer?
I am so excited to just finally be with the community again. Like,
Oh, yes.
after this year, I think everybody's just ready to get out and go for it. Like in the last parade that I was just in, there was so many people. Like it was insane.
really?
Actually, there was so many people, and I was like, everybody's ready to just
Yeah.
get back to what we
COVID
were used
nothing
to.
anymore. Yeah, we're done.
So I think I'm just super ready to see everybody in the
Right.
community again and just see everybody's smiles and stuff like that, and just make sure that we're back together
Well,
again.
you are representing the best community in the state.
I really am.
No doubt about it. It's an amazing community.
It is.
So there's a lot of facets to Fiesta Days, and that's one of your major duties. And there's a lot of things that go on during Fiesta Days. So what's your favorite part of Fiesta Days?
My favorite part, so the rodeo's definitely up
Not
there.
cowboys.
Oh, no. But the rodeo's definitely up there. But one of my favorite things to watch is the fish rodeo with the little kids.
Really?
I think it's the funniest thing in the world. And
I don't think I've ever gone. I know.
You
this
haven't?
is surprising.
Oh
I
gosh,
know.
you
I
have
need
to get
take
in
the
there and
grandkids
get
this
one
year.
with your
So
hands.
how disappointed are you going to be, Paisley,
I'm gonna do it.
if I tell you we're...
Because of the drought?
Yes.
Really?
I believe that.
There's a lot of reasons, but one of them is like we had to move the craft vendors over to the city park, and the numbers and long story short. But
That's
so can you
okay.
come up with another favorite? Not right now, but maybe report back after Fiesta Days.
I can
Tell us
tell
one.
you right now that the parade is
Okay.
my favorite because I've been in the parade a lot.
Yeah, I bet you have.
With drill team and stuff
Yeah.
like that, I've been in it a lot, so that's probably one
Okay.
of my favorites too.
You're gonna have to get one of those water bottles with the fans this year.
The
Yeah.
little,
If,
like,
if the
Disney
heat keeps up,
misters.
because it's going to be very, very hot, I'm sure.
So Paisley, on this
Yes.
paper you gave us, interesting facts. Let's talk about like your collection, your favorite food.
Yep. So I collect Air Jordans.
No cheap collection
No,
there.
but it's probably
No, I
weird.
have a son that does that too, and it's not. But it's fun.
It is so fun, but probably weird because considering all this,
Yeah.
he wouldn't expect it. But,
But do you wear them, or do
I
you
do.
just buy
I think
'em
you
and
should
then
wear
put
them
'em
with
up?
a dress one time. Wouldn't
Maybe
that be
I will.
cute?
Oh, that would be
Yeah.
fun.
but yes, I do wear them. I don't remember how many pairs I have. I think I'm up to like almost 20 now, maybe.
Wow.
And that's just Air Jordans. I also have like a lot of other pairs of Nikes.
So
I
it's
just love
Nike
Nikes.
specific.
Yes, I love Nikes. I also wear Vans and stuff like that, but
Okay.
I love Nikes.
Do you prefer those over high heels?
I don't know. They're just so different. Like when I put on heels, I just feel like I can do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But when I
yeah.
put on Jordans, I feel like
You can do anything.
well, yeah, like you know what I mean. Like,
Like
they're
a
just such a different
yeah.
kind of feel.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I
I
don't
love
think I could
that.
choose.
That would be fun to put on a pair under one of your gowns.
Yeah.
Sometime.
Some
You'll
of your
have to do that.
favorites.
Yeah, but then I have my
Or some of
cowboy
your
boots
shoes.
too.
That's
so
True.
That's true.
So favorite food?
applesauce.
I love this. She's like my cute little grandkids. The little go-go squeezes.
Yes.
They're easy. You
I
throw
love
them in
them.
your purse and go, and you have a
that's
little
awesome.
nutritious snack.
Actually, in my interview for Miss Spanish Fork, one of the judges asked me if I preferred cinnamon applesauce or regular applesauce, and I chose cinnamon.
Okay, yeah.
Really?
A little something.
Yes.
Okay, what about those? What about like the strawberry apple? You're good with all of
I
them?
have tried those, and they're not very good. I'm gonna be
Okay.
honest with you. They have
Okay,
a
good.
little bit different taste. So,
Cinnamon.
yeah,
Cinnamon
I, like
applesauce.
Cheap date.
I know.
Applesauce.
Well, we're gonna have to send you over to the barn. They have the apple slushy.
Yeah.
You can try
Over
that.
ice cream. Have you had that?
I haven't even been there, and I want to go so
It
bad.
looked delicious. Pete got to try it, I think, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, one
An
more.
hour.
I totally regretted this when we were in mock interviews and I didn't ask you one of the cheesy questions that we always ask. What makes you tick and what ticks you off?
I don't know. I'm actually a pretty easygoing person.
Dang it.
Like,
Okay.
People, like a lot of people have road rage and stuff like that, and I really don't. I just kind of,
Oh, you are.
But-
You're just so happy-go-lucky and so nice.
I don't know.
What makes you tick then?
Her Nikes.
Applesauce.
Probably both of those, actually.
Eating applesauce and lunch.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
such a joy.
Now Spanish Fork, Will. Spanish Fork.
Yeah.
I love
Awesome.
Spanish Fork.
Yep.
I've grown up here.
Congratulations.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
Best of
you're
luck.
darling.
Thank you.
You're going to be
Nice.
great.
Thank
You
you.
are great.
There's more studio chatter coming up. Welcome back. We made it. What did we learn today?
I learned that Paisley Healy is going to represent Spanish Fork beautifully this year.
She's darling.
She
and
really
so,
is.
Like well-spoken, has a great little platform. I think she's darling. She's going to
She's
be
gonna
so
have
great.
fun.
Yep,
She's
that's
a
going to
good
be a great year for
representative.
her.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Good luck, Paisley. I'm excited.
Well, I just learned, and it wasn't necessarily on camera, sorry about that. I learned after the fact that showering with a bucket
means something different.
Yes, it's actually to conserve the water
You
in a
pick
bucket.
up the extra.
Yes, you pick up the extra. And
We
then
had
you
to
save
have that
whatever.
explained to us.
Yes,
Sorry,
yes.
Pete was not asking us
Thank
to shower
you.
with a bucket.
Yes.
That
So
was good.
conserve water. I mean,
Yeah.
really, as much as you can.
Yeah.
Yep, we're going to need to.
Do your part.
And hopefully we can still have Spanish Fork fireworks for the 24th.
Hopefully,
We're
yeah.
gonna hope.
When we have, a fire truck and ready to put out a fire,
Yeah.
Be
hopefully
safe
we're
about
good.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 or 3 of them. We're
Fingers
fine.
and toes crossed.
Okay,
right.
so we need Botox, we need
We do.
fillers, we need vampire facelifts.
Some of these
We're
things.
getting to that place, guys. What
Okay.
did they do back in the day?
My
Just got
worry though
wrinkles?
is it just gets addictive and then you're having to keep up on it.
Totally.
They
it's
did
like
not,
nails,
Ange.
lashes, everything. You just keep going.
Go to the Family History Center.
Okay.
They did not. They did not. So we live
But
in a
everyone
very,
did not. And now some people are doing, so then you look like 80.
Older, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like,
some people
"Ooh."
look 40.
Tis true.
Right.
Tis true.
Whatever
Makes you
works.
happy.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Wrinkles
Yeah.
are fine. Botox is fine. Just
Oh.
make sure you can.
Glad to know that
pierce your
it's
lips at the end of the
available
day.
should we choose, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we're wanting to go that route.
Yep.
And Becky,
Mm-hmm.
it is really cool, like listening to that book and the women, because oftentimes we do hear about the men military service.
Right.
So to hear about these stories, and when we wrapped up filming, she's like, "Oh, there's so much more. There's another story I would have loved to share." You don't get a lot of time when you're here at the
No, you
table.
don't.
It goes
But-
fast.
We're around such strong women that it doesn't surprise me that back in those wars and throughout military that women have played such a big
Yeah.
role and impact. And so
Right.
it's kind of fun hearing some of those stories come to life.
When she was saying, the women would serve, but they couldn't even vote, but that was applicable to, the black people
Yes.
at the time. They were fighting for their country. They also couldn't vote or
Right.
own land, and so I
But
think there
the
were a
thought
lot of
of what
different
it's all
people
about and what
to
it's
come
for.
in and fight for the freedoms of our country is awesome.
yeah, I love this time of year. The patriotism is
I know.
so rich.
And I do
it.
love listening to the changes. I think you asked, what has changed over the last 50 years?
Oh my
There's
word.
been leaps and bounds.
Well, I was just going to say
Change.
that. I feel like there have been enormous strides, even in the very, very recent past. I mean,
Right.
you talk about the 40s and the 50s, and
Yes.
to even right now, just so many things have changed. So it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
really
agree.
is. I can't wait to see what the future holds for all of this.
Or scared for what the future
Yeah, or
holds. In
scares.
some things,
Yeah,
it gets a
because
little
every year
scary.
everything changes. Like I think so
Yeah.
drastically right now. We're able
Yeah.
to have, I don't know,
Yeah,
a lot of changes.
it was a fun lineup.
Yeah, it was really diverse and really fun.
Yeah.
All topics.
So let me ask you. Last time we filmed, artists gave us plants. Do you guys remember that?
Yes.
Yes.
And she told us that we could keep them alive or it's okay if they don't.
Well, I went the route of feeling okay when I had to throw my basil away. I put it in my
no.
kitchen right by my sink. I don't think I overwatered.
Okay.
But within a week, that thing was just a wilting away.
Were you watering it every day, or what was your watering system?
When it got dry,
Okay. Mine was fabulous, and I'm like, I am rocking this. And then all of a sudden, like, I really heavy watered it, and then I didn't water it for a day or so, and it's dry. So I don't know.
and what
Maybe it knows it's a
Mine's doing
drought.
awesome. It's doing
Good for
great. And I've
you.
been giving it a little bit of water every day. So knock on wood.
Okay, so just a little.
So maybe I overwatered mine,
Mm-hmm.
because before I was forgetting to just pour some of my water bottle in it.
In my latter years, I've developed just a teeny bit, just a tiny bit of a green thumb. Just kind of. Indoor plants.
Oh, that's where
Yeah, not so much.
I'm much better outside.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
and
just
that's
cut
so
flowers. I can do that
I'm-
for a week. I can keep them
I'm
alive.
the opposite.
Yeah, nothing lives in the house flower-wise.
But
I know, what
after
is it?
she left, so of course I started following her,
Uh-huh.
and my jaw hit the floor. I mean, she's amazing. I was dying over the children's garden. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding
fun.
me? I mean, amazing, stunned, beautiful.
I can't wait to go
That was
walk through
awesome.
it.
Yes, I know.
Well, good luck
Lovely.
keeping
Yeah.
anything alive in this heat wave for the next
know.
couple of weeks.
It's a good excuse if things
Yes,
die.
yes.
Yep, we're
Yes,
watching the
I
drought.
would be proud to keep the basil alive compared to that.
Keep it indoors.
My little
sure,
herb garden
for
in the
sure.
backyard, though, on my table is doing great. so it was just my indoor one.
Oh, good.
We're
Good
trying.
luck.
We're trying, guys.
Stay
so
cool.
much fun.
Thank you. I'll let you know how the water level is down
Okay.
Of course, yes. Okay. Thanks for being here with us. We hope you enjoyed the program. Tell a friend about us.